Hey, so here we are with Laurie McCracken. Laurie McCracken is an emotion and body code certified practitioner. She's amazing, and we're lucky to be with her. Hey, Laurie.
Hey, thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome.
Such a joy to be with you.
Oh, thank you so much. We were gonna spend some time talking with people about just what exactly is the emotion and body code so they could hear about it and see if it's something they might be interested in.
Sure. So the emotion code and body code is an energy modality, another tool for us to be able to release that trapped negative energy that we carry that feels like backpacks that weighs us down. And it could be, from painful situations we've experienced or from things that are hurtful that people have said to us, and it may be showing up as pain in our body. That shoulder pain could be from when you were 5 years old on the recess ground and some little, classmate pushed you or said something mean, and you think you got over it. You hardly ever think of it again. And yet, when we can access it and identify that it could be an old wound there that just got stuck because you weren't able to process it at that time. And of course, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So very simple, gentle, and yet powerful and deep way of releasing these negative energies that are holding us back. And that could be in our relationships and money wise, finances, prosperity, or just in our own happiness inside of us.
I love
And
I love
yeah,
that about the emotion code that it like can deal with like every and any area of your life. And I've been fortunate to have some sessions with you that have made a huge difference in my life. And I know you said a little bit about you've said this before, like the issues are in your tissues. And I love that. And I know maybe you could say a little bit about your background and formation and in medicine and healing and how you've seen that show up, like issues being in tissues literally.
yeah, and so I worked as an oncology nurse for many years. And I loved doing that because I love the intimacy of getting to know people at a deep level when they're going through such a challenging experience and in a vulnerable space. And through that, I learned that many times it's it's often actually secrets many times or our own wants or needs that we've had to put on the back burner of our life that have kind of in a way eaten away at us because we didn't feel comfortable enough within ourselves to share with someone else, and so we held it in, and it literally was eating away at us and creating dis-ease in us. And so sharing those types of things and releasing that energy and learning and holding how to hold compassion for ourselves and love um, is part of the healing process. And so that was always a real burden for me
Mm-hmm.
to share and hear some of the painful situations that people hadn't felt comfortable with or the negative self-talk they had had for their whole life. And I could I just wished because I knew that those were issues that were literally in their tissues.
Yeah.
And if I had a way to release that's what can promote healing from the deepest level.
Wow.
And so that's why I was so grateful to learn about the emotion code and say, wow, this is like an answer to those prayers of a simple yet powerful way to also witness one another and share these things that we felt we had to keep deep inside. And once we release them, our bodies can then expand, can be healthy. Every time we release a trapped emotion, our immune system can function better.
Mm.
And so that's how once I got in, I think that's why it made such an impact on me. And so, for example, I can tell you in the beginning, I was working on a little boy who was 10 years old, and he came to my open house. And so I was just releasing one trapped emotion. from everyone. And he had had a nervous tip, since he was 3 years old, and he was 10 at the time. And of course, being teased by kids at school, and his mother had taken him into the specialist in Boston, and they kept saying, well, we can give him a medication, but that's really all we can do. And she didn't want to do that. And she really felt, her inner knowing then was that he got scared when she was sick when he was 3. So we identified, I think it was anxiety actually that he had, and had been holding in his body, that poor little body, from 3 years old till 10. We released that. And when she saw me a few weeks later, she said, I kept meaning to call you to tell you he hasn't had that nervous tic since.
Wow, how amazing.
Yeah, it was really powerful.
Yeah, you think about like the whole other path that she and he and the whole family could have gone down with medication, and there's like a whole other possibility that opened up for them inside of what, like an hour with you?
Yeah, not even. That was
Wow.
like 10 minutes.
That's
And so,
amazing.
and the thing is, because Western medicine certainly plays a part. If I'm in a car accident, I want someone that knows how to operate quickly.
Sure.
It's for the chronic issues and things that we're carrying and that accumulate within us. Those are the things that medications mask rather than getting to the root cause. And so with the body code, we're able to tap into our subconscious, which is what holds the answers to all of the questions and all of the issues, the bottom reason for the issues that we have. And so being able to do that, we can peel away a layer at a time and allow for health to step in, for us to step in as who we are, empowered, and own and take responsibility for our own life and move forward in it. And it just helps to allow that healing process, that growing process to be speeded up.
Yeah. How cool. So if, somebody who's listening is thinking about, wow, I think this could be really helpful and supportive for me, what would they need to think about, like coming to a session or having a session? I know they can have sessions on Skype or Google Hangouts or in person or over the phone, which is really amazing because you're completely accessible to anybody anywhere in the world. But should I come thinking about an area or areas, or what do you recommend for somebody who wants to have a session with you?
Yeah, and so that's an interesting question, because some people, and usually people do come. They'll say, well, I've tried all these, I've had blood tests, I've had scans, I've had all these things, and I still have the same problem. And so I love that in the sense that I know that it's been ruled out by the medical profession. So then what's left is energy medicine, and that's what we're doing. And so we can definitely work, because what I'm doing with your permission is tapping in to that amazing inner wisdom and asking your subconscious. So please guide us to what it is that is an underlying cause. And 80 to 90% of the time, it's an energy of a negative trapped emotion. And we can find out what emotion it is, where in your body it's hanging out, how old you were when it got trapped, or is it something happening right now, or is it inherited, or did you absorb it? There's so many different energies that are a possibility that are trapped and blocking us. So when we identify it, and then the important thing for you is to have the intention to release it. And then I use a magnet going down. For those of you who have had acupuncture know that the energy pathways, the largest one goes from the tip of our lip all the way over our head down to the end of our spine. And so as we roll a magnet with the intention to release it, that intention is magnified, and we're rolling it down, putting that energy into your body, and it's being released totally out of your body. So rather than sometimes when we talk about these things, it's going around in a circle. We've talked about it, we've stirred it up, but it's still inside. It's moving around. This is actually, we've brought it to consciousness, from your subconscious to your conscious mind, and then we identify it, because our emotions, just like us, want to be acknowledged. They want to be honored. They have a message for us. They're trying to awaken us to something. And then with that intention, we release it from your body forever. And of course, there can be layers. Some things are very simple, one or two emotions, or sometimes even one, or an energy we identify. And other times there's layers there, or there's more than one trapped emotion that's stuck. So, especially chronic things or issues we've had for a long time, then one session isn't necessarily going to take care of the whole thing, but it can already make a shift.
How cool. Like, what are some of the experiences you've witnessed, or what kinds of things have opened up for people? I know you see young children, adults, couples, families. Like, it's possible, right, that like more than one person can meet with you simultaneously. And
Absolutely. And I love that because relationships are such a big part of our life, right? And so if we're having a hard time with either a mother and a daughter or a father and a son or our partner, because sometimes that space between us can hold tension, can hold trapped negative energy. So we can identify what that is and release it too. And then we can do either one person at a time, or we can do what is taking up space that's preventing both of you from being able to be open to each other. Maybe there's something there that's simple that we can identify and release. And then I have certain techniques and tools and suggestions that come to support what's been released. So now you've created this beautiful new space that allows for possibility. And I've had fathers and sons have amazing reconciliations by doing this because they each felt honored. And so something new is allowed to come forth that neither one of them saw or was expecting. And I think that's what's beautiful, because as long as we show up and we have a desire to heal, then there's infinite possibilities of how that can happen.
how beautiful.